to another month. Congratulations, welcome to September. You know what that means? 4 months till January 1st, 2021. Yay! No, but in all seriousness, congratulations, you made it to another month. And hey, while things continue to maybe not be what you want it to be in your life and your world right now, I want to encourage you on one thing that we do know is true, and that is King Jesus is still on his throne. He's still ruling, he's still reigning. In fact, that's the word I want to share with you this morning from the book of Psalms. Psalm chapter 47 is what we're digging into here today. Let me get close in there. Psalm 47, enjoying this beautiful morning out in the backyard. It feels like, what's that feeling? Cool. Yes, cool. It doesn't feel like overwhelmingly humid and hot like it so often does here in our beautiful South Texas, that we're going to enjoy that weather once we see everybody else bundling up pretty soon. But we'll be enjoying the beautiful weather that is in our neighborhood. In fact, thinking about this too, I want to remind you, if you haven't yet filled out the census, 2020 census, fill it out. Help your community wherever it is that you live. That's one of the best ways you can help your community, even right now, is filling out that census. A lot rides on that and depends on it. So if you haven't done it yet, fill it out. I know if you're in Harlingen, I think there's opportunities to fill it out in person at the library. I think you can even enter in for some contests. I got some giveaways, some prizes to help you, encourage you, and you and your neighbor, and maybe encourage your neighbor too. If you live in an apartment building, live in a neighborhood, ask them, hey, have you filled out your census yet? And you can go to the website there on 2020 census, or census2020.gov, and you can fill it out there, or you can find out more information. Just Google it. You can find it really quick. It's important to do that. So ask your neighbor if they've done it yet, and make sure that gets done, because it helps your people. So, but biggest help comes not from a census, but from the King who's still on his throne. And that's what we hear in Psalm 47. Psalm 47 says this: clap your hands, all you peoples. Shout to God with a jubilant cry, for the Lord, the Most High, is awe-inspiring, a great King over the whole earth. He subdues people under us and nations under our feet. He chooses for us our inheritance, the pride of Jacob whom he loves. God ascends among shouts of joy, the Lord with sound of trumpets. Sing praise to God, sing praise. Sing praise to our King, sing praise. Sing a song of wisdom, for God is King of the whole earth. God reigns over the nations. God is seated on his holy throne. The nobles of the people have assembled with the people of God of Abraham. For the leaders of the earth belong to God. He is greatly exalted. So who's in charge? King Jesus is still in charge. God is still on his throne. I love that reminder there. God is seated on his holy throne. And the circumstances that you're going through in your life, I pray you take comfort in that. I pray you take assurance in that the King is still on his throne. He's still ruling. He's still reigning. He's still got this, and he's got you. And he's got you, dear friends, wherever you are, whatever you're going through, he is over all of this. And not just over all this, over those who rule as leaders in this role. You hear that last part? For the leaders of the earth belong to God. He is greatly exalted. It's important to pray for our leaders and continue to pray for our leaders in this moment. I know we're headed into elections of national and state and local elections coming up very shortly, and depending on your municipality where you are, you have different things to vote for and important things to decide for your community. And so we pray for those upcoming things coming in. We'll be we're in September, October, November, we're almost there. And so we pray for that whole process, that God works through that. We know he works through that, and he rules and reigns through it. And so we're going to talk a little bit actually more about that this weekend in worship, have a little conversation about what our role is, how we play that out in our vocations and calling as Christians in the realm of the leadership and this political sphere we find ourselves in. I know we don't like to talk about it, but it's important that we talk about it in terms of a biblical perspective of what God says to us, especially what God says through the person of Paul in the book of Romans. Very helpful things for us to think about as we balance both mercy and obedience. Mercy and obedience. There's a way to be mercifully obedient, and Paul can help us in that. And I hope it's helpful for you as we worship. We'll be worshiping in person this weekend. We're back in person, so Saturday night 5:30, Sunday 8:30, and 10:30. We're gonna go back to our our typically scheduled worship times. We may change that. We may change that up a little bit. We'll see what the numbers are and things like that. And of course, if you're compromised, if you're sick, stay home. We'll still do a live stream. We'll pre-record that and get that out to you. And soon we'll be doing a true live stream once we have everything set up and all the people in place for that as well. So remember, the King's still on his throne. He's ruling, he's reigning, he's got this. Nothing changes about his lordship over this earth and over this universe, even in the midst of circumstances you don't understand. The King's still in control. So rest in his promises, rest in his assurance, rest in his love for you. The King's on his throne. And the only time he chose to come off that throne was to come down into this world so that he could seek and save the lost, so that he could bring you back to him. So what a great King you and I serve this day, who loves you with an everlasting love and who's promised to be with you always and never leave you or forsake you. So rest in his assurances, rest in his promises, and we'll be coming back doing devos here probably a little bit earlier than we've been doing them, or we're getting ready to get back into that school routine here at our house. So earlier bedtimes, make earlier sunrise, and it's nice to get up with the sun rising in the morning, and a little cool weather too as well. If there's a way I can pray for you, please let me know, because your prayers, what you're going through matters to me. So you can direct message me, you can just comment on there. Sometimes you can miss the comments. It's Facebook, get a lot of notifications, can miss all those things. But know that we care for you, we love you, hope to see you real soon if that's possible. And we'll have curbside communion tomorrow too. So if you can't join us for the weekend for communion, you can stop by, have communion in the comfort of your own car, Wednesday, 8:30 to 11:30, right there in front of the church. Haven't heard any word on food distribution this week. I know that's one thing people ask a lot. We haven't heard any word yet, and as soon as we hear it, we'll let you know. So stay tuned here to social media. That's the best way we can get it out to you just as quickly as possible. God's got this. He's got you. And rest in the peace and his assurance of his promises towards you and his never-ending, unfailing love